what is the recovery time following areola reduction? So areola reduction, the areola is the pigmented area around the nipple. So sometimes that's too big. So reducing the areola, it involves, it's a local anesthetic. It involves dissolvable sutures. Personally, I put a permanent suture deep, but you can't see it, so it doesn't require any sutures to be removed. So the skin sutures are dissolvable, and so you have a plaster basically on there, and that plaster's on for a week. You take the plaster off for a week. To be honest, it's a common theme. Plaster for a week is kind of like pretty much everything, whether it be a breast implants, a tummy tuck, a mole removal, an areola reduction, plaster on for a week. So yeah, plaster on for a week. Again, waterproof one in this situation, so you can shower and what have you, but you've got to take it easy. So probably this is actually going to probably sound similar to the lipoma removal one. Yeah, so take it easy. You can get it wet in the shower, but you don't want to get too strenuous with your exercises and stuff. You don't want to put too much tension on your chest, because obviously an areola reduction is closed under tension, because you cut out the excess areola. You cut a donut of areola out, and then you cinch in the outer circumference into the inner circumference, so it is closed under tension. So you don't want to put too much tension on the wounds in terms of doing physical activities for your upper body. Lower body's fine. Walking, like the stepper, stuff like that. Is it called a cross trainer? But not with the arms. The foot thing. Anyway, there's actually a step. There is a step. Is the step of the step? There's actually steps, isn't there, in the gym? They got steps which should continuously go. Is that called a stepper? I was more thinking of the thing. Anyway, steps, stairs. You can do stairs, and so lower body stuff. And then after the week, the dressing comes off, and there is often little bits that haven't healed. It's not uncommon to get little bits that haven't healed, because it's kind of whooshed up the scarring. So maybe a couple of weeks, I would say, before you want to start getting into things, because your dressing comes off after a week, but that second week there might be little bits and bobs which are not completely healed. So I'd say 2 weeks before you can start. Well, as I say, lower body things straight off the bat, but 2 weeks before you do too much upper body things. If you're sort of working and desk job and things like that, you can get back to work probably next day, really. You don't really have to have a huge amount of time off work, but you might feel a bit bruised, a bit uncomfortable, might feel a bit tight for a good week. And as I say, you don't want to be putting any tension on the wounds for 2 weeks, and then you can start doing stuff with your upper body in terms of the gym and activities like that. I hope that's what you mean by recovery. Obviously, it depends on what you're doing, if it's talking about return to work, but that's kind of giving you a flavour.